Everyone, I just want to say something before I go to the store. Um, I said I was going to make pork chops and taters, but it's getting late, so I think it's going to be a pasta night. But, you know, as I said, little by little, and, I've not been real serious about getting subbers and getting my videos out because I knew I had to be prepared and, more prepared. These years I've only given, what I was made able. And now, I'm going to be trying to look into how to get, to share my videos more and even the brethren's, to really learn how all this can connect. And, I just wanted to mention that, but little by little. And so I said, just come put out one little thought, because what it is, that's how it worked in myself. If people think I see a revelation man that doesn't understand that, like it's a big revelation that just, and it all happens. No, it was a process. It was a man couldn't do that. That's the whole thing. Our minds wasn't prepared as a preparing. Minds and hearts, I should say, but it was a preparing. And we couldn't, like the download, like when some of us had said it was like a download. After part of it was like, because you know what you're receiving. But our minds couldn't just take that all at once. It was as it was given little by little by little. And I know what's been done in myself, and then the brethren that has this work. That's so we would know, to be an example, that we know how the work is done. We know what to expect, and we know how to present. And it's just, I know there's some that have, aren't, that I've probably lost here. There's some when I first began to speak, before I understood the things that I now have come to, to see, but that I don't know how to, I'm not going to get into that really, but because they didn't see what they didn't see, they only had the part. And some, when I first began to speak, they was all for me, and they was, but I think that some of them, but I know that it's all up to the hearer. You only give your part, and and it's how the word works. Just as the word worked in us, that's how the word will work in others. That's just it. Little by little, others will start to understand and comprehend and be able to perceive, just as it was done in us, just as it was written that it would be, and as it was done in the book. Excuse me. Well, I had a thought that I wanted to share, though. I was just answering some comments. And that's why I came on. Okay, that's it. And I'm just going to, I'll follow through with more meaning to little things I will say, but a double mind. A double mind is unstable in all their ways. And that's what we've all had, and that's what's been purged out through this work, and that's why the Bible contradicts. For one, not only did you not understand and hear what didn't come through, it was the carnal man can only hear the carnal. You get through that, through the understanding of what the scriptures truly means, which few has known. That's when, but you must, it's not understanding rightly because of the double mind. That's why we wasn't able. In the double mind, that's why through understanding the scriptures rightly, your mind becomes prepared to understand spirit, to perceive spirit. And then because there's always with the double mind, you'll always hear a spirit meaning here, but this one will be contradicting. And I want to just put one example out. they say. You know, people say, when they say peace, oh, they're going to say peace. And even when we write peace to one another, you have so many minds out there saying, uh-oh, they're talking about peace. Because that's not their mind is double. They're not grounded. They're not, let me just make the point. So you have that when they say peace. What is the scripture that makes them think that anyone who speaks peace is against the truth or is against the spirit, because we speak of peace and people speak of peace in the world? That is a right thing. That is what spirit is of. Is that is what the reconciling does. It sets you at one. It makes peace. But it has to happen within each, and then it shows in the world, and it spreads that way. You know, and but you also have the scripture, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. So right there you have the same spirit speaking, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. And then, but then they have the whole world thinks that all the indoctrinated, and religion tells you, don't, and when they say peace, don't listen to them. And I'm trying to think, I can't think of that scripture. I just had it, and I'll make that. I know you know what I'm talking about. I gotta really rush to the stupid Walmart. I hate Walmart so much. But and I'm gonna say some things concerning Walmart and what I see needs to be happening. That we'll get to all that. But what is that verse I'm thinking of? My mind's a little off right now, but you know, because they're so watching for what they think, because they have not understood. They're so watching for destruction. They're waiting for all this. So when and there's certain scriptures that makes them think, because they haven't because it's that double mind that puts them against peace. But how do they reconcile their idea that the spirit is not for peace, and that if any of us speak of peace, that we are somehow of the Antichrist because we speak of peace, when the very word, because see, the double mind don't understand what these things mean. The very word tells you, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. So who are they who are for war? Don't that backfire on a little bit? You who are being against the peace, that thinking that it's not. See, the truth and what is right never changes. You know, just because you think even if there was some destruction that will come, that don't change the fact that the peace and what is right and good to do today, it would still be right and good. Peace is always right. It's never be against peace. And it is the very ones who see this. I hope this is making some sense. I don't really have time to ponder, so I can, what comes in you is, in the understanding gathered in you is really hard to sometimes put out there, especially when you are starving and kids are saying, I'm hungry, you promised to cook, but those are just as it is, they speak against the peace. So are not they the ones that the scripture is speaking of? I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. I hope that made sense. See, this is what's happened in us. That these who think, thought they had it figured out. And they're out there teaching many things, and, and none come in agreement. Or they come in agreement, but they all have their variances, but the work has not been fully accomplished. Some truly mean well, but I don't know. I'm not going to go into that. Just, when you understand, the whole point was to overcome the wicked one. The whole point was to prepare us for how because we wasn't prepared. Because of our double mind, we wasn't prepared. That is what all this has been. And, why it's been done in myself and in the brethren who truly have this work going on in them. We are vessels prepared. We are being fully prepared. And it's to be an example and helper and, to be lights. There's lights going on all over the world. I wanted to say that the other day too, because I just realized, and seeing the brethren more and more, and and we've only just have a handful. We've only found a handful, but I know that all over the world there's my brethren. There's, what's happening in me is happening, and maybe some more or less, and, maybe some is, had greater work done, and maybe, it's just, but it's reconciling each of us, because that's how each of us has to be reconciled to bring all things into reconciliation. So I hope something made sense, and I got to go to the store, and, I've held back this work also, the preparing, and that's also because it's where we doubted, then the things we did not understand, so we could not speak, but now, and then you was kind of fearful to put out something because you didn't want to say something wrong, but with the Spirit assurance, what's done in you, now there's nothing that will stop you from opening your mouth, because the words have been put in your mouth. I remember when I first heard years ago when it was alive, and it's so much now that the confirmation, but now I understand, and it's so much greater. But I remember my tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Truly, it wasn't ready then because I didn't understand. I do understand now. And that word that I heard way back when has shown to be faithful and true. And that's why I don't have fear, and I won't hold back in speaking what's been given to me to speak. And I know my brethren won't think that I'm boastful, because this is what we was made to do. This is why we was given what we've been given. It's the authority given to you to speak. Not every mouth out there has authority to speak. Not the authority that is from on high. And that, I gotta run. And hope to speak with some of you soon. Much love to you. Bye for now.